This week's question of the week is useful if you're having interpersonal conflict or you need to make an important decision. So, the question to ponder this week is how I feel negatively affecting how I think? This question is useful when we are in disagreement or conflict, especially with those close to us, or when we need to make a big decision that requires us to think rationally or logically. How we feel often negatively affects how we think and behave in situations. Think about a time when you were really annoyed or angry with someone. Maybe you thought some pretty terrible things about that person, and maybe even said some pretty terrible things to or about that person. But then afterwards, once the anger has run its course and subsided, maybe you regretted thinking those things and especially saying those things. So, how we feel can affect how we think and behave. Don't get me wrong, anger can be a very useful emotion in certain situations. If you feel threatened physically, it can help you fight back or get away. It can help you stand up for yourself and stop others walking all over you. Our negative emotions are also an important source of information. They indicate often that our needs are not being met. We feel anxious when our needs for security or safety are not being met, when we think that something might hurt us. We feel stress when we believe we can't cope with the demands of a situation. We feel guilt and shame when we feel our behaviour has dropped below our personal standards. And we feel angry when we feel attacked or we're stopped from achieving an important goal. The problem with all of these emotions is they tend to take over. They partly disengage the logical, forward-thinking, problem-solving part of our brains, while the emotional and reactive parts of our brain kick in order to protect us. And sometimes that doesn't serve us. So what can you do about it? If you're feeling a very strong emotion like anger during an interpersonal conflict, for example having an argument with your partner or work colleague, the best thing to do is give yourself some space and remove yourself from the situation. Maybe try a breathing technique. Here's a link to a great one by Andrew Weil, or hit the gym and work out. This works with big decisions as well, so if you feel overly stressed or anxious or worried or under pressure, give yourself some space and time. Let that emotion run its course, then look at the situation again before you decide what to do. So it's like giving yourself a cooling off period before you commit to a course of action. I hope you find these useful. See you next week.